No, let's get to our power rankings through 7 games or 7 weeks more of. We'll go 10-1.
All right.
Who's your 10 spot?
I'm going Eagles here. First time being in my top
me too,
10.
yes.
Yeah, I just think, and you and I have talked about this, their roster's so damn talented. They have just been underachieving. You want to talk about coaches. I think Sirianni's a big reason for that. But again, every week, even though he's not doing a great job coaching that team, their talent is so palpable that it's like when they win, it's just clear that they are just a more talented football team than the opposition.
Yeah.
They are getting by in spite of their head coach, but they're just too damn talented for me to leave off of this list.
It's almost like if you have all the talent, the roster stuff checked out, you bring in the right head coach, cleans things up, keeps guys in line, gets the defense to show up, he could break the all-time wins record for you. Do you have history? The Eagles have history. They
Eagles
do.
have history.
Bill Belichick likes history.
Good ownership.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great front office.
Yep.
We'll see. Again, my concern is how Bill Belichick builds a coaching staff,
Yeah.
but it's a landing spot.
That market won't bother him. Those fans won't bother him. That's a good spot. He doesn't give a damn. That's a good spot.
I have the Eagles at 10 as well. And to be honest with you, after 9, it really is. I'm like, nah.
Yeah.
I think there's 9 good teams in the
I
NFL.
agree.
There's different tiers.
Yep.
Like that Eagles spot at 10, they just make it because they're the best bad team.
So talented.
Because that defensive line worries me. Mm-hmm. The offense, because Sirianni being interfering way too much still worries me.
Yeah.
And they win games like this where I think the sooner they fire Nick Sirianni and they let Kellen Moore just take over the offense. I don't even know who'd be the head coach in that situation.
Yeah.
Just let him take over the offense and actually run his system.
Right.
Call plays the way he does, the better for the Eagles. 9 spot for me, Chicago Bears.
Same.
Keep winning. Defense is legit.
Yep.
They're getting better.
Playoffs,
Caleb's
bro.
getting more settled in. They're running the ball. They check every box for me. And that is a coaching staff. You know what it shows me? That's a coaching staff that has accountability. How bad Shane Waldron was the first few weeks.
Yep.
He changed it.
He did.
Forcing the ball to certain guys. Yeah, you pay Gerald Everett, just get Cole Kmet involved. And Caleb rolling with the punches, especially in that wide receiver room, which is deep, but dealing with injuries, getting stuff done.
Hey, Bears go to Washington this week, coming off the bye. I think they go into Washington and get that win. I really do. And I know a lot of fans in Washington wanted Caleb there to be the quarterback. That's where he's from. It didn't work out. They got Jaden. It worked out pretty good for them. Mm-hmm. But I think on Sunday, Caleb will be the better player, not Jaden. Number 8, I'm going to go Steelers here. I told you that I thought the move to Russell Wilson would torpedo their season, and they should have stuck with Justin Fields. I am here right now to tell you I was completely wrong, because if Russell Wilson can stay upright and look like he did in that win for the Steelers, in his first start, that offense looked like a real offense, like an actual NFL offense. If he's able to stay healthy, they might be cooking with something there. So another example of Mike Tomlin being smarter than the rest of us.
Well said.
Yeah.
All of us got a piece of humble pie.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Where Justin Fields is playing well. He was taking care of the football.
They were
he had
winning.
a dynamic ceiling.
Yeah.
And they were 4-2. We're all like, how do you change a quarterback?
Man.
That was still a bottom 10 offense.
Yep.
Yardage, scoring, everything. So he saw a spot where they can get better.
That's right.
And I didn't think Russell Wilson would get pulled mid-game because that'd be ridiculous to have that type of leash.
Sure.
But first 2 drives looked really ugly. Mm-hmm. Rest of the game looked great. Mm-hmm. And you see just the simplicity of, for what Russell Wilson's doing, which I think you can't overlook in certain quarterbacks.
Yep.
Throw it up to a playmaker, let him make a play. That's Russell Wilson and George Pickens.
That's right.
He took care of the football last year with the Broncos. Playing for a head coach that absolutely hated him. Still took care of the football, smart with it. Less agile, less mobile, yes, but still going out and doing his thing. Because of that defense, I like the Steelers team, but I have them ahead of the Commanders. Commanders are the 8th spot for me.
Okay.
The difference is the defense between the two.
Sure.
But we saw a Commanders team and Marcus Mariota win a game. Jaden Daniels went down after the first drive with an injury. He was okay. We'll see if he does play Sunday.
I think he'll be
His mom
fine.
is like making reports herself, which I think is hilarious in a good way. But I have the Commanders at that 8th spot, but then I have the Steelers at the 7.
Yeah, I just swapped. I have Commanders at 7, but not a lot of arguments there. I get your reasoning for it. I just have Commanders there because I'd rather have Jaden Daniels than Russell Wilson any day of the week these days.
So 6th spot, I got my Green Bay Packers.
Wow.
My adoptive.
I thought
Green
they
Bay
would be
Packers.
higher on your list.
That run defense still concerns me, and Jordan Love's turned the ball over a lot.
Okay.
Huge win for them at home against the Texans, where the defense did hold C.J. Stroud to under 100 yards passing. Absolutely insane what they did. Tough, grinded out game. Took a lot of good game management, which you need from Matt LaFleur to see.
Yep.
But just because I'm still looking at full body of works, we're figuring these teams out. Jordan Love still concerns me a tad. I just have him at the 6th spot, but Texans are right ahead at 5.
All right, I have the Bills at my 6th spot. I love the move for Amari Cooper. I just think it was the right move. They're running the ball better. I think the Bills, I wish they hadn't lost as much as they did in the offseason on their defense, because I think this maybe, if their defense was their usual dominant selves, this maybe could be the year for the Bills where the Chiefs are a little vulnerable. But I think their defense took too many losses for me to go to that route. But I like this Bills team. I have them at 6.
My 5 spot, Texans. Running the ball really well. Defense is really good. They're coming off an L, but they just check so many boxes.
Yep.
And Nico Collins doesn't separate them from winning or losing games. He does have a big impact on the offense. But this team is still playing close games against really good competition like the Packers and without their best receiver, who's one of the best in the NFL this season. So I like the Texans at the 5 spot.
This one was hard for me. I have the Ravens at 5, and I feel like you can make a case for them to be top 3. But, I mean, if Lamar and Derrick Henry are humming, I just don't even know if you can beat that team.
Yeah.
I really don't. And so I'm at the point now, I just want to see it from Lamar once we get to January. But the Ravens are 5. They feel like they can really rattle off a bunch of wins right now. I have my eye on them to just continue to stay hot.
Ravens are running the ball. Lamar's been great.
Bro.
The defense is just good enough.
Serviceable.
But Derrick Henry is a different factor that shows up in the playoffs too. Of if you control the clock, if you control possession because of what Derrick Henry provides and how fresh he looks.
That's right.
And then just Lamar, when he's on, is as good as anyone. He had 5 touchdown passes.
They're going to be dangerous, bro.
Absurd. And Zay Flowers had 1 catch. He was kept in check and 5 touchdown passes. My 4 spot, though, I go to the Vikings. Lost to the Lions. Defense is really good.
Yep.
This top 4 for me is really hard to split, aside from the number 1, but I just have the Vikings at the 4th spot. It's really more them coming off an L.
I couldn't wait to drop them out of my top 10. I told you every week I had them at 1. They kept winning, and I was like, I can't wait till the
Vikings in your
drop
top 10.
them out. I couldn't wait.
You don't have
them
the Vikings
losing. I was waiting for a week. Get them out of there.
To the Lions.
Get them out of there.
You don't have them in the top 10?
Bye. Now they're talking about trading for Stafford. Your season's over.
I called myself stubborn and stupid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, all right, I'll leave it at that.
I mean, it's my 10. 4, I'm going Texans for everything you said.
All right.
I still, look, spoiler alert, I have the Chiefs 1. You should too. I mean, they're not losing games. But I still, outside of Lamar, I think the Texans are going to give the Chiefs a run for their money once we get to the postseason. The more I watch this team, I'm starting to believe more and more. I have the Texans at 4.
You got the pass rushers.
They check every box.
Both starting linebackers are out against the Packers. That can't be overlooked against the Texans. Azeez Al-Shaair and Toa Toa.
Facts.
Huge going against the defense and that quarterback. 3 spot for me is the Ravens. We spoke about it. But they just keep showing up and keep winning. After their 0-2 start, they've just been absolute nails.
Yep.
This team is constructed so well. And it's Lamar, again, putting together an MVP season. Like, he's been the best quarterback in the NFL.
Yep.
The addition of Derrick Henry, which changes the whole offense. And Lamar's still an MVP-level quarterback with the defense just good enough. I have the Ravens at the 3.
All right, 3, I'm going your Packers.
Wow.
I hear you what you're saying as far as your concerns, but I think you're being overly critical because you've been on them and you have certain expectations for them.
Yeah.
As someone who – I never argued with you really about – I understood the Packers' vision. Another team I like more in that division, but I see it now.
Yeah.
And listen, by the way, all your concerns are fair, but I think this Packers team, much like the Texans, they check every box as well, and I could see them being there when the smoke clears in the NFC as well once we get to when it counts.
2 spots, Lions. Jared Goff is awesome against a blitz, awesome against pressure, against the best defense in the NFL and the Vikings.
Yep.
When David Montgomery had that fumble that was scooped and scored for a touchdown, I was like, the Lions are dead. First game without Aiden Hutchinson, their best defensive player. They found a way to pull out a win over the Vikings, who are one of the best teams in the NFL.
Yep.
Absurd to not be in your top 10, but I'm just giving you slack at this point.
Yeah, screw them.
The Lions continue to win, and it's a team that's 2 now. Trade deadline coming up. You mentioned the Matt Staffords are rumored out there. The Cooper Kupps are rumored out there. We'll see what pass rushers are rumored out there. They need to add on the back end. They need to add at their defensive line. but they check everything off
They
on
do.
offense, and that offense is covering up for a lot of deficiencies. It's great. Jahmyr Gibbs was phenomenal,
Yeah.
but Jared Goff is even better, and that's saying a lot, especially against that defense.
Facts. Yeah, listen, I agree with you. I am it too. I think they have to get a pass rusher, and not just that, a premier one. I mean, if you can get a Max Crosby or a Myles Garrett, I feel really good about my Lions Super Bowl ticket. If you don't get either and you just get some guy, I don't feel good about that ticket at all. So, I have my eye on the Lions big time to see what they do at the deadline. Mm-hmm. They must go get a premier pass rusher for me to still believe they can go to and win the Super Bowl. Number one's the Chiefs, right? Come on.
The best thing I can say about a defense is they smother. They're smothering.
Yeah.
The Chiefs drown you with that defense.
Yeah, they do.
You can't breathe.
That's a great defense.
And you can't live.
That's right.
I understand Deebo Samuel was sick, in and out.
Yeah.
Ayuk goes down with a torn ACL.
Yeah.
I understand it all. And what's happened, but that Chiefs defense just drowns their opponent and that opposing offense, and it says so much about them.
Absolutely.
Lock and step, agree with me, Chiefs won?
Yeah, how could you not? I mean, look, I'll say this. I don't think they're going to get a third straight Super Bowl. Still. I don't care. Every week I watch them win. Mahomes pulls a rabbit out of the hat.
They had a pass catcher, though. They had a pass catcher.
Who changes the game? They get a Cooper Kupp.
They won with Kadarius Toney, Mecole Hardman.
I'm just saying. I don't know. I think by the time we get there, I feel like, and I said this after they lost Tyreek Hill and it didn't matter, but I feel like there's going to be a game where they need somebody, playmaker, whether it's taking the top off over the top or it's someone they just get it too quick, it can make people miss in a phone booth.
Yeah.
They don't have either. And I think there's going to be a game, if it's Lamar, if it's the Texans, I don't know. But it's going to be a situation where a team is standing in the middle of the ring with you, exchanging shots, and you need that knockout punch, and they just don't have it. They don't have it. And I think it's going to catch up to them. But I said the same thing after Tyreek was gone, and 2 Super Bowls later.
They're 6-0, and Mahomes has not been good.
He's
barely breaking 200 yards.
Yeah.
He's not throwing
touchdowns. He's just making the plays when you need them.
You have a defense that drowns opponents, and you have the guy, when the moment is biggest, the lights are the brightest, and you need a clutch play, you know he's going to pull.
And you have Andy Reid.
I just can't doubt it. I ducked him down from my one spot. I should put him back up.
How can you not?
And it's that defense.
I still don't trust him, though.